Clear power, writing stronger with fewer words. Introduction. Have you ever read a sentence many times and still not understood it? It's like getting an email full of strange words you don't know, or trying to follow directions that are so mixed up you get lost. We have all felt this way, trying to understand messages, papers, or even simple instructions. This confusion is not just annoying. It's like a mist that covers our words, making it hard to see what is really meant. This mist is made of long, twisty sentences, words that sound smart, but don't add anything, and ideas all pushed together without space to breathe. It makes us feel upset and wastes our valuable time. When writing is not clear, it can cause real problems. In our fast world, not understanding things can lead to costly mistakes at work, missed chances, and a bad name. If your writing is not clear, people might not get your ideas, believe you know what you're talking about, or do what you want them to do. It's like trying to build something important with blurry pictures. The base is not strong, and the final thing will likely have problems. For you, unclear writing can make you feel like no one hears you, like you can't share your thoughts well, and just tired from trying so hard to make your point. In a world that moves very fast, clear talking and writing are not just nice things to have. They are needed. But what if there was a way to get rid of that mist? What if you could make your words shine so brightly and truly that your message is understood perfectly every time? This book will show you how to do that. We believe that good writing is not about using big words or very long sentences. It's about making sure your message is understood right away, without the reader having to try hard. This is called writing clarity. Writing clarity means your message is easy to understand at once, with no confusion. It means using simple words, keeping sentences short and to the point, and putting your thoughts in an order that makes sense. It means getting rid of special words that only a few people know, and talking straight to the person reading. The goal is to make your writing strong and powerful, not by adding more, but by being very simple and direct. We get this clear power by taking out words that are not needed, avoiding confusing words, and making sentences that lead your reader smoothly to your main idea. And the best part? Anyone can do this. You don't need to be special. You just need the right help. When you finish this book, you will have the tools to change your writing. You will learn how to find and remove those extra words that make sentences heavy, making them lighter and stronger. You will learn how to pick words that are not just right, but also clear and interesting for anyone reading. You will learn to build sentences that are strong, active, and easy to follow, helping your reader understand step by step. We will look at how to put your ideas in order, so they make perfect sense, making sure your message is received exactly how you want it. You will feel sure that you can share your thoughts clearly and with impact, so your ideas are heard and understood. This is about more than just writing better. It's about talking and writing better in every part of your life. So, are you ready to clear the mist and let your words shine? Are you ready to write with the power that comes from being simple and direct? Turn the page and let's start this journey together, making your writing better, one clear word at a time. 1. Why fewer words matter. Imagine you tried to build something using instructions that were too long and hard to understand. You might have wanted to stop. Maybe it was for furniture, a new toy, or even a simple meal. You probably had to read sentences again and again to figure out what the writer truly meant. It's annoying, right? It feels like you're struggling just to get to the main idea. This feeling, this struggle, often happens because there are too many words. Our writing, like those confusing instructions, can become a mess if we're not careful with our words. It's like trying to see a nice picture through a dirty window. The picture is there, but the dirt, the extra words, makes it hard to see. This is where the simple idea of using fewer words becomes very strong. It's not about being short just to be short. It's about making your message shine. Let's look at a common example. Think about telling someone how to get to your house. You could say, "Go down the main road until you get to the traffic lights, and then you should turn left. Keep going on that street for about 3 blocks, and then you will see a big oak tree on your right side. My house is the blue one right across the street from that tree." That's a lot of words. Now, think about this. Turn left at the traffic lights. Go 3 blocks and look for the big oak tree on your right. My blue house is across from it. Do you see the difference? The second way gets you to the same place, but it's much faster and easier to understand. The first way has words like "go down the main road," "you should turn," and "keep going on that street." For about. These words don't add new information. They just take up space. They are like extra bags that slow down your message. This is the main idea of clear writing. It means making it easy for someone to get your message without getting confused. When we use fewer words, we clear away the mess. We make a clear path for the reader's mind to follow. Think of it like this. When you try to hear a friend in a loud room, you have to listen hard to their words. You want them to speak clearly and directly. Your reader feels the same way when they read writing with too many words. They have to try harder to understand you. The confusion that too many words causes like a fog. The main message, the important place you want your reader to reach, gets lost in the fog. When you remove words that aren't needed, you burn away that fog. The path becomes clear. Instead of "make a left turn," we just say "turn left." Instead of "continue on that street for about 3 blocks," we say "go 3 blocks." This directness means the reader doesn't have to think as hard. They don't have to stop and wonder if "proceed down the main road" means something different from "go down the main road." They just understand it. This directness is a key part of clear writing, making sure your message arrives quickly and without confusion. Respecting your reader's time is another big reason why fewer words are important. We live in a world full of information. Everyone is busy. Emails fill inboxes, social media feeds scroll on, and news articles fight for attention. In this busy world, a reader's attention is very precious. If you make them work too hard to get your message, they might decide it's not worth the effort. They might click away, close the page, or just skim your words without truly understanding them. Imagine you are a busy boss who needs to approve a project. You get 2 reports. One is 20 pages long, full of hard words and long sentences. The other is 5 pages, clear and to the point. Which one are you more likely to read all the way through? The shorter one, of course. You value your time, and you want the important information shown to you quickly. When your writing is short and clear, you are showing respect for your reader. You are saying, "I have thought carefully about this. I have found the most important parts, and I am showing them to you in the easiest way possible." This respect builds a good connection between you and your reader. This leads to the third big benefit. Your message has more power and is remembered more easily. When words are chosen carefully and used a little, each word has more meaning. A short, strong sentence can be more powerful than a long, rambling one. Think about famous sayings. "Just do it." That's only 3 words. It's very strong. It makes people want to act. Now, imagine if Nike had written, "We strongly encourage all individuals to consider undertaking the athletic activities that are available to them at this time." It's the same idea, but it completely loses its power. The long version is weak and easily forgotten. The short version is strong and stays in your mind. This happens because our brains tend to focus on what stands out. When a sentence is short and direct, it's like a bright light. It shows the main idea clearly. Long sentences, on the other hand, can be like a dim, flickering light that makes it hard to see what's important. By using fewer words, you make your most important point shine brighter. This makes your message easier to remember. People will remember your strong, short sentences long after they have forgotten the extra words. This is a key part of clear writing, making your message not just easy to understand, but also powerful and lasting. Finally, using fewer words helps build trust and makes you seem more reliable. When you write clearly and directly, you seem more sure of yourself and more knowledgeable. It shows you understand your subject well and can explain it without needing to hide behind fancy or complicated words. Think about a doctor. If a doctor explains a serious sickness using simple, clear words, you feel better. You believe they know what they are talking about. You trust their skill. But if they fill you with technical words you can't understand, you might start to wonder if they are trying to show off or if they even fully understand the situation themselves. This is especially true when talking about difficult subjects. The ability to explain a hard idea in simple, easy-to-understand words is a sign of true skill. It shows you have gone beyond just knowing the facts, you have truly understood them. When you can explain something complicated with simple words and short sentences, you build a bridge of trust with your reader. They see you as someone who is honest, capable, and wants them to understand. This, in turn, makes them more open to your ideas and more likely to believe what you say. So, how does this connect back to the confusion and frustration that too many words cause? Too many words create confusion because they make the reader do extra work. They have to mentally sort through words that don't help with the main point. They have to stop and figure out what is meant. This mental effort is tiring and can lead to frustration. For example, if someone writes, "It is important that we, as a group, thoroughly look at how we currently do things to find ways to work better," the reader has to process many abstract terms. They have to figure out that important means needed, group means people working together, and thoroughly look at how we currently do things simply means check our work. The confusion comes from the unnecessary difficulty. When you use fewer words, you directly fix this problem. You replace abstract words with clear ones. You replace long phrases with single words. Instead of thoroughly look at how we currently do things, you might say review our work. Instead of find ways to work better, you might say find ways to improve. The reader's mind can then focus on the actual meaning, what needs to be done and why, without getting stuck on how the sentence is built. This directness is the main part of clear writing, making the message easy to understand. The feeling of reading writing with few words is very different from reading writing with many words. Writing with few words feels light, energetic, and easy to follow. It's like a fast walk on a sunny day. You feel good and you can see where you are going. Writing with many words, on the other hand, feels heavy, slow, and hard. It's like trying to walk through thick mud. You get tired quickly and you might wonder why you even started. This difference matters a lot for what the writer wants to achieve because a reader who feels good about reading your work is more likely to finish it, understand it, and do what it asks. If your goal is to convince someone, you want them to feel interested and positive, not tired and annoyed. If your goal is to inform, you want them to take in the information easily, not struggle to find it. The good feeling that comes with clear, short writing makes your message work better. In the end, the power of fewer words is their ability to cut through noise and connect directly with the reader. It's about making your message as strong and clear as possible, so it has an effect and is remembered. It's about respecting your reader, building their trust, and making sure your ideas aren't lost in a lot of unnecessary words. So we've seen that getting rid of extra words isn't just about making your writing shorter, it's about making it sharper, more interesting, and more convincing. But how do we actually start this process of removing words? The next step is to get the tools and methods to find and remove those extra words that make our sentences messy and weaken our message. 2. Finding the right words. Sometimes, the hardest part of writing isn't taking words out, but picking the best words. Think of building. You don't just grab any wood, right? You find the strong, straight piece that fits. Writing is like that. We want words that fit our message perfectly, making it strong and easy to get. This is called writing clearly. It means making your message so clear that your reader understands it right away, without stopping to think, what did they mean? Let's talk about being clear, not fancy. It's easy to like a word that sounds big. We might think using a big word makes us sound smart or our writing better. But often, these words get in the way. They can make your writing hard to read, and sometimes, they don't mean what we think. The goal isn't to sound fancy, it's to be understood. The best word is the one that says exactly what you mean, in the simplest, most direct way. Think about the word facilitate. It sounds important, doesn't it? But what does it mean? It means to make something easier or help it happen. If you're writing to a friend, saying I will facilitate the meeting sounds a bit strange. It's much clearer and friendlier to say, I will help with the meeting, or I will make sure the meeting goes well. The simpler words, help and make sure, do the job perfectly. They are clear. They tell your reader exactly what you'll do without confusion. This is a main idea of writing clearly. Using words that are clear and direct, not just impressive. Here's another example. Imagine you're talking about a project. You could say, we need to utilize all available resources. That sounds formal. But what if you said, we need to use all our resources? The meaning is the same. Use is a simpler word, and it's easier to understand. It doesn't make the reader stop and think, what does utilize mean here? They just get it. This is the power of simple words. Simple words are like clean windows. They let the reader see your message without anything blocking the view. Hard words can be like dirty glass. They make the message blurry. This brings us to the power of simple words. Many people think using common, everyday words makes writing weak. But the opposite is true. When you choose simple words, you make your writing strong. You make it powerful because more people can understand it. Think about your favorite stories or advice you remember well. They were likely told with words you understood right away. These words went straight to your heart and mind. Let's look at commence. It means to begin. If you're writing an invitation for a party, saying the festivities will commence at 7 p.m. might sound too formal. For a casual party, it might even make people feel a bit shy. But if you say, the party starts at 7 p.m., everyone knows exactly what to expect. Starts is a simple, common word that everyone understands. It's direct. It's clear. It creates that quick connection that is so important for writing clearly. Now, let's talk about the engine of our sentences, strong verbs. Verbs are action words. They tell us what someone or something is doing. Strong, active verbs make your writing lively. They make sentences feel energetic and direct. Weak verbs, on the other hand, can make your writing feel slow and indirect. Often, weak verbs are used with adverbs, words that often end in lie, to try and add meaning. But a strong verb can often do the job better by itself. Look at the sentence, he ran quickly. The verb is ran, which is active. But quickly is an adverb telling us how he ran. It's not bad, but we can make it stronger. What if we replaced ran quickly with one strong verb? We could say, he sprinted. Sprinted is a verb that means to run very fast. It's one word and it creates a much clearer, more exciting picture than ran quickly. It's more exact. It's more powerful. This is the main idea of picking the right words, finding that single, strong verb that carries all the meaning you need. Let's try another. Instead of she walked slowly, we could say she ambled or she shuffled, depending on the exact feeling we want to show. Ambled suggests a relaxed, slow pace, while shuffled might suggest being tired or having trouble. Both are single words that are more descriptive and interesting than walked slowly. They are active exact and help writing clearly by giving the reader a clear picture. This leads us to avoiding unnecessary words. These are words that don't add much to your message. They are like extra decorations that make a clean design messy. They can make your sentences longer without making them clearer. In fact, they often make them less clear. These words often slip into our writing because we use them in everyday talk. But in writing, we need to be more careful. Think about words like very, really, basically, and actually. What do they really add? If you say it was a very good book, what does very do? It just makes good stronger. But if the book was truly good, you might not need very at all. The word good might be enough. If you want to be more exact, you could find a stronger word. Was it excellent? Captivating? Insightful? These words are more specific and mean more than just saying very good. Consider basically. If you say, basically, we need to finish the project, what does basically add? It suggests that there's something more complex, but you're making it simple. However, if you just say, we need to finish the project, you are being direct. You're not trying to soften the message or pretend it's more complicated than it is. You're just stating the fact. This directness is key to writing clearly. And then there's literally. This word is often used wrong. When people say, I was literally dying of laughter, they don't mean they were actually stopping living. They mean they were laughing very hard. Using literally when you don't mean it literally can confuse readers and make your statement weaker. It's better to say, I was laughing so hard or I couldn't stop laughing. Again, simpler, more direct language. These unnecessary words are like noise on a radio. They make it harder to hear the clear message. Finally, we must remember that context is key. The best word is not always the same word. It depends on who you are writing for, why you are writing, and the feeling you want to create. What works for a science paper will not work for a friendly letter. Let's imagine I'm writing a story for young children. I might use words like big, happy, and run. If I were writing a formal report for engineers, I might use words like substantial, content, and traverse. The meaning is similar, but the audience and purpose are very different. The engineer reading the report needs exact technical words. The child reading the story needs simple, interesting words. I remember a time when I was helping a friend write a thank you note after a job interview. She wanted to sound very professional. She wrote, I am writing to express my gratitude for the opportunity to interview for the position. It's not wrong, but it's a bit stiff. I asked her, what do you really want to say? She said, I really appreciated them taking the time to talk to me, and I'm excited about the job. So we changed it. We wrote, thank you so much for interviewing me for the job title position. I really enjoyed learning more about it and am very excited about the possibility of joining your team. See the difference? The second version is warmer, more personal, and still professional. It uses simpler words like enjoyed and excited instead of more formal phrases. It's more direct and feels more real. This is about finding words that fit the feeling and the purpose of your writing. So, when you're looking for the right words, always ask yourself these two questions. First, does this word really add something? Or is there a simpler, more direct word that does the same, or better job? This question makes you stop and think. Is this word needed? Is it the best choice? Or is there a more straightforward option that will make your message even clearer? If you can replace a hard word with a simpler one without losing any meaning, you should. That's a win for writing clearly. And the second question, if I took this word out, would the meaning of the sentence change a lot? Or would it become clearer? If taking a word out makes the sentence clearer, then that word was probably not serving a good purpose. It was likely an unnecessary word or a word that was just taking up space. If taking it out makes the sentence stronger, then it's a good word to remove. This is a powerful test for finding the truly important words. Finding the right words isn't about having a huge list of fancy words. It's about thinking carefully about language. It's about understanding that every word you choose has a job to do. Does it help your reader understand? Does it make your message stronger? Or is it just there? By being thoughtful, by choosing exactness over fanciness, simplicity over difficulty, and strong verbs over weak ones, you make your writing powerful. You make it clear. After looking at how to pick the best words, the next step is to make sure these carefully chosen words work well together. This means thinking about how individual words form sentences that are not only clear but also flow smoothly and make sense. 3. Simplifying complex ideas. Sometimes, the things we need to write about are like messy balls of string. They have many parts that go in different directions. It's easy to feel confused, and it's even easier to make the person reading feel confused too. But here's a secret. Making hard things easy to understand doesn't mean they are not important. It means you are a good guide for your reader, showing them the clearest way. It means making your writing strong by making it easy to get. Think about when you first learned to ride a bike. It felt like a lot was happening all at once. Staying up, moving your feet, and turning. If someone just said, "Ride your bike," without explaining it step by step, it would have been too much. But they probably told you one step at a time, and helped you when you almost fell. That's what we want to do with our writing. We want to take those messy ideas and gently sort them out, one part at a time, so the reader can follow easily. Why things seem hard to understand. Often, a topic feels hard because it is hard. Think about how a doctor knows a lot about the human body or how a mechanic knows a lot about cars. They have spent years learning all the small parts and how they work together. When they talk about it, they might use words that sound like a secret code to us, but they usually don't try to confuse us. It's because the topic itself has many layers. Our job, as writers who want to be clear writers, is to be the bridge. We need to take that deep knowledge and explain it in a way everyone can understand. It's not about making the idea seem less smart. It's about smart explaining. It's about respecting our reader by giving them the clearest explanation, so they can learn without getting upset. Imagine trying to explain how a phone works to someone from 100 years ago. It would be very hard. But if you focused on the main idea, sending messages and information quickly over long distances, and used things they might know, like a very fast letter service, you would start to make sense. Take it apart, then put it back together. This is where the real good stuff happens. When you have a big, hard idea, the first thing to do is break it into smaller, easier parts. Think of it like taking apart a puzzle. You don't try to put the whole picture together at once. You find the edge pieces, then you look for pieces that fit together. Let's say you need to explain how a new rule becomes an official law. That sounds like a lot, right? But we can break it down. Part 1. An idea starts. Someone has a thought for a new rule or change. Part 2. It gets written down. The idea becomes a formal suggestion called a bill. Part 3. It goes to the people who make laws. The bill is given to a group like Congress. Part 4. They talk about it. Lawmakers discuss the bill, maybe change it, and vote. Part 5. It needs more agreement. If one group of lawmakers agrees, it goes to another group. Part 6. The last step. If both groups agree, it goes to the leader like the president to sign. If they sign it, it becomes a law. Each part is much simpler than the whole thing. Once you have these small parts, you can put them back together in the right order. You start with the first part and explain it. Then you move to the second and so on. This step-by-step way makes the whole process feel much less scary. This is the main point of clear writing, taking something big and making it small enough for the reader to understand easily. Use comparisons to help. Sometimes, even after breaking an idea down, it can still feel a bit unclear. This is where comparisons come in. A comparison helps explain something hard by linking it to something familiar and easier to understand. It's like saying, "This is like that." Let's go back to our bill becoming a law. We could use a comparison. Imagine you are planning a big family meal. The idea for the meal is like the first idea for the bill. Writing down what food to make and who to invite is like writing the bill. Talking to your family about the food and who to invite is like the lawmakers talking about the bill. Getting everyone to agree on the final plan is like the bill needing agreement from different groups. Finally, cooking and serving the meal is like the bill becoming a law and being used. Comparisons work because they use what we already know. We all understand the idea of planning an event or a meal. By comparing the hard process of making laws to something we already know, we make the idea of making laws feel more real and understandable. When you are trying to make a hard idea simple, ask yourself, what familiar things can I compare this hard idea to make it easier to understand? Don't be afraid to be creative. The more people can relate to your comparison, the more they will understand your explanation. Focus on the main idea with any hard topic. There is usually one main point, one big thing you really want your reader to understand. Everything else you write should support that main point. If you try to explain everything about a hard topic, you might confuse your reader more than help them. Think about a time you watched a really good movie about something big, like the history of the world. But by the end, you likely remembered a few key ideas. The filmmakers didn't try to explain every single star and planet. They focused on the most important ideas that helped you understand the big picture. So, before you start writing, ask yourself, what is the simplest way to explain the main point of this hard idea? What is the one thing, the single most important thing, that my reader must understand after reading this? Once you know that main point, you can build your explanation around it. Every sentence, every paragraph, should help that main point. This strong focus is a powerful way to achieve clear writing. Making the invisible visible, even when we don't use actual pictures, simple words can help our readers imagine things in their minds. Hard ideas often involve steps, systems, or ideas that are hard to picture. By using clear, descriptive words, we can create a picture in our reader's mind. Imagine trying to explain how electricity moves. You could use technical words, or you could say something like, think of electricity like water moving through pipes. The wires are the pipes, and the electricity is the water. When you flip a switch, it's like opening a gate, letting the water electricity flow to power your lights or your toaster. This simple comparison helps us imagine the unseen movement of electricity. We can imagine the water moving, and that helps us understand how electricity works. We are not just giving facts. We are helping our readers see the idea. This is a key part of making writing strong and easy to read. When you write about something hard, try to use words that create a picture. Instead of saying, the system had a problem that slowed things down, you could say, The information got stuck, like cars in a traffic jam, slowing everything down. The second way is much easier to imagine and understand. So, to make hard ideas simple, remember to 1. Know that it's complex, but see it as something you can explain. 2. Break down the big idea into its smallest, most important parts. 3. Use familiar comparisons to make unclear ideas clear. 4. Always find and focus on the main idea. 5. Use simple words to help your reader imagine what you are explaining. By doing these steps, you are not just making words simpler, you are making understanding simpler. You are making your writing strong because it is clear, and it is clear because you have taken the time to sort out the complexity for your reader. Once we have successfully broken down and made complex ideas clear, the next important step is making sure that the way we put those clear parts together makes reading smooth and easy. This leads us straight to how we should build our sentences to be as strong and easy to read as possible. 4. Editing for clarity. Editing is where the real work happens. Think of it like shaping clay. You start with a lump of clay, and by carefully molding and smoothing it, you create a beautiful pot. Your writing is the clay, and editing is your hands. It's how you take your ideas, which might be a bit messy at first, and make them clear and strong. The main goal of editing, especially for clear power, is simple: to make sure your reader understands exactly what you mean without any confusion. If your words aren't clear, they can't have the effect you want. You've put a lot of thought into your writing. You have something important to share. But if your reader has to read a sentence again, or guess your meaning, or gets lost in too many words, your message becomes weak. It's like trying to hear a quiet voice in a loud place. You can still hear it, but it's hard to make out. Editing helps turn that quiet voice into a clear, strong one that everyone can hear. It makes your writing so easy to understand that the reader doesn't have to think about how to understand it. They just do. This is the core of writing clarity, making your message very clear and easy for your reader. Let's start by looking for what I call filler words. These are words that fill up space in our writing, but don't add much meaning or strength. They are like extra things you don't need to pack for a trip. The more filler words you remove, the lighter and quicker your writing becomes, and the more your important ideas can stand out. One common type of filler is using words that mean the same thing. For example, saying true facts is not needed because facts are already true. Or past history. History is always in the past. When you see these, you can just use one word. Facts is enough. History is enough. It's a small change, but it makes your writing tighter and more direct. Then there are extra descriptive words. Words like really, very, completely, absolutely, and totally. Often, the word they are trying to describe is already strong enough. If you say someone is very happy, are they truly happier than just happy? Sometimes, very can make the word happy seem less strong, as if you can't find a better word for their joy. Instead of he was very tired, maybe he was exhausted. Instead of she was very excited, perhaps she was thrilled or eager. When you can, try to use stronger words instead of weak ones, and you won't need those extra descriptive words. It's like using a sharp tool instead of a dull one. We also find words that make statements sound unsure. Phrases like kind of, sort of, a little bit, or in my opinion. If you are stating something, and it's clear it's your idea, you don't need to say in my opinion. For example, instead of in my opinion, this book is very interesting, you can just say, this book is very interesting. If you are describing something, and you say it's kind of blue, why not just say it's bluish or light blue? These little phrases make your statement sound less sure, and can make your writing seem uncertain. When you remove them, your writing becomes more confident and direct. This word check, as we can call it, is a very important part of editing for clarity. It's about asking yourself a simple question for every word and phrase. Does this word or phrase really add meaning, or is it just taking up space? If it's just taking up space, it's time to remove it. Every word should have a reason to be there. Another big area to watch out for is special language. Special language is the specific words that people in a certain job or group use. It might be technical words, or slang, or short forms of words. While it can be useful for experts talking to each other, it can be a big problem for everyone else. Remember our definition of writing clarity? It specifically says to avoid special language. If your readers are not experts in your field, using special language is like speaking a different language to them. For example, if you are writing about computers and you use terms like API, backend, or cloud infrastructure without explaining them, someone who is not a tech expert will not understand. They might pretend to understand, but they won't really get it. The goal of clear writing is to connect with your reader, not to show off how much you know. So, if you have to use a technical term, take a moment to explain it in simple words. Or, even better, try to find a simpler, everyday word that means the same thing. Instead of utilize, say use. Instead of facilitate, say help. This leads us to sentence fixing. We want to remove unnecessary words from our sentences, making them strong and direct. One good way to do this is by changing noun phrases into verbs. This sounds complicated, but it's really simple. Look at phrases like make a decision. That's a noun phrase. You can change it into a verb, decide. It's shorter and more active. Instead of we need to do a review of the project, say we need to review the project. Instead of the company made an announcement, try the company announced. See how much more direct that is. Another important technique is dealing with the passive voice. In the passive voice, the subject of the sentence isn't doing the action, it's receiving it. For example, the ball was hit by John. Here, the ball is the subject, and something is happening to it. It's not wrong, but it's often longer and less direct than the active voice. In the active voice, the person doing the action is the subject. John hit the ball. This is usually clearer, more energetic, and easier to follow. Why is active voice better for clarity? Because it tells you right away who is doing what. It's a direct cause and effect. Passive voice can sometimes hide who is responsible for an action, or it can make the sentence longer and more confusing. So, when you are editing, look for sentences that start with the thing was or it was done by and see if you can rewrite them in the active voice. For instance, mistakes were made is a common example of passive voice that doesn't say who actually made the mistakes. A clearer, more direct version would be we made mistakes or the team made mistakes. Sometimes, you will have a series of very short, choppy sentences. They might sound like this: the dog barked. It was loud. The mailman ran away. The dog was happy. While each sentence is clear, the whole paragraph can feel jumpy and disconnected. Editing allows you to combine these short sentences to create a smoother flow. You can link related ideas using connecting words or by changing the sentence structure. For example, you could rewrite the above as, the dog barked loudly, making the mailman run away. The dog was happy. Now, the ideas are connected and the writing flows more naturally. This brings us to a really simple but very effective editing trick: read your writing out loud. Seriously, try it. When you read your words silently, your brain often fills in the blanks and smooths over awkward parts. But when you speak them, your ears can catch all the things your eyes might miss. When you read aloud, listen for awkward phrasing, sentences that feel clumsy or hard to say, unnecessary words. You will often stumble over words that are not needed. Sentences that are too long. If you find yourself running out of breath, the sentence is probably too long. Repetitive sounds. Words that sound too similar next to each other can be unpleasant. Reading aloud is like having a built-in editor. It helps you hear the clutter in your writing. It's a way to step back and experience your words as a reader would. It's a powerful tool for catching anything that might confuse or slow down your audience. Let's look at a quick example. Imagine you have written this paragraph. It is my considered opinion that the utilization of advanced technological apparatus in the educational sphere has the potential to greatly facilitate a more dynamic and interactive learning experience for students across a wide spectrum of age groups and academic disciplines. We should really make an effort to implement these tools more broadly because they can truly enhance comprehension and engagement levels significantly. Now, let's use our editing ideas. We will ask ourselves those key questions. First, is there a simpler word or phrase I could use here that means the same thing? It is my considered opinion that can become I think or just be removed if the context makes it clear it's your opinion. Utilization of can become use of or just using. Advanced technological apparatus can become technology or tech tools. Educational sphere can become schools or education. Has the potential to greatly facilitate can become can help or can make. Dynamic and interactive learning experience can become more engaging learning. Across a wide spectrum of age groups and academic disciplines can become for all students. We should really make an effort to implement can become we should implement or we should use. Enhance comprehension and engagement levels significantly can become improve understanding and involvement. Second, does this word or phrase really add meaning, or is it just taking up space? It is my considered opinion that takes up space. Greatly, often not needed. Really, takes up space. Truly, takes up space. Significantly, often implied or can be replaced with a stronger verb. Let's try rewriting that paragraph with these ideas in mind. Aiming for writing clarity, using technology in schools can help make learning more engaging for all students. We should use these tools more because they improve understanding and involvement. See the difference? The original paragraph was long, full of special language and filler words, and hard to read. The revised version is short, direct, and easy to understand. It uses simple words and shorter sentences. It's powerful because it's clear. It delivers the message without any extra effort from the reader. This is the power of editing for clarity. It's not about making your writing sound fancy. It's about making it sound smart by being simple and direct. It's about respecting your reader's time and attention. When you edit with clarity in mind, you're not just polishing your words. You're strengthening your message and making sure it connects with your audience. Once you have made your sentences clear and removed extra words, you have built a strong base. But even the clearest words can lose their impact if they are not arranged in a way that guides the reader well. The next step is to make sure your ideas follow a logical order, which leads us to how to arrange ideas for the best effect. Conclusion: you have come to the end of our time together, and it is a good place to be. We wanted to learn how to make your words strong. You learned that this strength is not in hard words, but in something much better, being clear. The main idea of clear power is this simple but big thought: writing clearly. This is the base for good talking that people understand. It makes your message easy for anyone to get, fast and without confusion. Think about what we learned. We learned to take out extra words. We learned to get rid of words that make your message messy and slow down the person reading. By taking out extra words, your main idea can shine. This makes your writing neat and strong. We also learn to stop using special words that not everyone knows. These words can make people feel left out. When you use simple words that everyone knows, your message can reach everyone. This helps people truly understand and connect. We also looked at how to make sentences strong. Good sentences help your reader go through your ideas easily. They make even hard thoughts easy to eat. They make sure your points hit where you want them to. Each of these parts, taking out extra words, using simple words, and making strong sentences, works together to do one important thing: writing clearly. Why is this so important? Because when you write clearly, you show you care about the person reading. You care about their time and their smarts by showing your ideas in the easiest way. This care builds trust and makes stronger ties. It does not matter if you are writing an email to a friend at work, a paper for your boss, or a note for someone you like. The strongest message is the one that is not just heard, but truly understood. Writing clearly is your way to get that understanding again and again. It means your ideas can go further. Your reasons are clearer. Your impact is bigger. The ideas we talked about are not rules to remember. They are a way to think. Clear power is something you do all the time. It is trying to make your message better and connect more. Take these lessons with you to every email, every paper, every message you send. Look for chances to take out words, make things simple, and build with clarity in mind. The part where you make your writing better is where the magic happens. Ask yourself, can I say this in a simpler way? Do I need this word? Is what I mean very clear? With every word you pick carefully, with every sentence you build with thought, you are building your clear power. You are becoming someone who talks and writes better. You now have the tools to make your writing go from just okay to really strong. You have the power to be clear. You have the power to be understood. You have the power to make your words matter. Go and write with clarity. Your voice, made louder by clear, strong words, can do amazing things. Your trip to writing more clearly and strongly has just started.